You know, everybody, the title says it best down below. And it basically says it best in a question. How do we know, if Sally got gutted to become Mecha Sally? How do we know that? We don't. It's just fan speculation and opinion, which is great. You know, it gets you talking about the comic, gets you interested in the comic, interested in the characters. I understand that. But what I don't understand is how you can assume that, though. What proof do you have? Sure, you can come out and say, well, she's got a laser cannon coming out of her head now. Yeah, that's true. You can assume that, she's got a battery pack or a power pack or whatever it is in the back of her. That when you open the back of her, there's some kind of like a power pack back there, which you insert power rings to which are basically her life support. Yeah, you can assume that. You can pretty much say that's your proof there, but how do you know that? How do you know that for sure? Well, you might say, well, her body's completely different. It's not the same. Okay. First of all, how do you know any of this? All right? True. Again, it's all about speculation, but how do you know this? It's all speculation and opinion, which again, like I said, gets people talking about the comic, and that's good. But how do you know this for sure? What proof do you really have? Besides what is obviously visually been seen already? How do you know that? You don't. My personal opinion, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think, and I know I'm not the only one alone in this, but in my personal opinion, I think off panel, if you want to look at it that way, all Eggman did was wield on some weaponized armor on top of her body. That's all he did. He wielded on armor on top of her body. That's all he did. And as far as the laser cannon goes, it's real simple. He may have opened up her head a little bit and placed the cannon inside. True, he did modify some parts about her. I'm not going to deny that. But in my personal opinion, I believe all he did was place weaponized armor. But again, the question is, how do you know? How do you know if she got gutted? You don't. How do I know he just placed weaponized armor on her? I don't. It's all called speculation. It's all about opinion. It's getting you talking. But how do you know? But again, how does any fan know this? Do you have visual proof? You don't. You don't have the visual proof. You might say, oh, well, when they placed the power ring in the back of her for her as her battery, it's basically her power source, her life support, if you will. There's your proof. Again, speculation. Again, it's speculation, it's opinion. For all we know, as far as I'm concerned, when he welded the armor onto her, he basically had circuitry connect into her body. By doing so, and thus by connecting into her body, it connected the power source. Now you might say, well, Brian, it's kind of flawed, seeing as though she didn't really need a power source when she was originally roboticized. That is true, but that's all part of the weaponizing. By making the power ring, that's part of the modifications that he did. Basically, by making the power ring the power source, it basically overrides any of her natural robotic systems. You kind of get what I'm saying. Sounds confusing, but I think you get the idea of what I'm saying. I mean, if you want an example, it's kind of like when you upgrade from Windows XP to Windows 7, or from Windows 7 to Windows 8. Do you need to literally open up your tower of your computer and gut it just so you could do that? No. No. All you do is transfer your files, your programs onto an external hard drive for safekeeping, and then upload and then upgrade to the next Windows system. That's it. You're not opening up your tower and gutting that tower just to go to Windows 8. You're not doing that. You know, it's kind of like when you want an HD TV. You know, me and my mom have always wanted to get HD for a while because the TV in the living room was small, the sound was going and all that. You could still watch and hear, but the sound was going, and sooner or later the picture quality was going to probably die. So what did we do? Last December, I went online, bought us our first HD TV. 1080p quality, might I add. But still, I went out and I bought it. Now, does that mean I went into the TV? Does that mean... Now, what does that mean? That means I upgraded. But did that mean that I had to... But did it mean, oh, I want HD? Did it mean, oh, I'm just going to go behind the TV, open the TV up, gut it a little bit, put in some HD quality stuff, and boom, we have HD on that smaller TV? No, I didn't do that. I upgraded. I bought a new one. It didn't mean I had to go behind inside the TV, gut it, put in HD components and all that just to have HD. No, I didn't do that. It's kind of like with the evolution of game consoles. You know, it's like the evolution of game consoles. It's like, oh, I want a game console that plays the next 720 games or PS4 games, but I don't want to spend so much money. So I'm gonna open up my PS3 or my Xbox 360, and I'm gonna gut it, and I'm gonna, do this and that just so I can have 720. Do you think people are really gonna do that? Take their time and do that? Maybe, but the more logical sense is just go out and buy the new system. Just upgrade. It doesn't mean you're going to go in and gut your systems just so you can have just so you can have what's coming out or what's going to be out in the near future. I mean, with the Wii U that's come out, do you think people who can't afford that Wii U are going like, you know what? I'm just going to gut my Wii. I'm going to modify it. And you know what? It's going to be a Wii U system. No, they go out and they upgrade to the next system. DVD players. Do you think when the Blu-ray came out, you think people are like, you know what? I'm going to gut and modify my DVD player and I'm going to make it a Blu-ray player. Do you think they did that? No. They went out and they bought a Blu-ray. The truth of the matter, the point I'm trying to make is just because she was weaponized doesn't mean Ian Flynn had Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, gut her, cut her to pieces, whatever you want to say, and then do the weaponization. You don't know that. For all you know, he just upgraded upgraded her body by putting armor. Wielding upgraded armor, connecting the upgraded armor to her body. And sure, he made a few modifications by maybe stylizing the hair or something. I don't know. Putting a laser cannon in her head. Does that mean... Oh, and speaking of such, putting the laser cannon in her head. Does that mean he took out half her brain? No! No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just means he put a laser cannon in. Okay? That's all it means. Okay. For example, when somebody gets hip replacement surgery, right? Gets hip replacement surgery. All right? When they have to have hip replacement surgery, do they take out the other hip hip so the hip replacement surgery can happen and replace it with plastic and plastic or titanium and titanium? No. They just take out the bad hip, replace it with the replacement. That's it. Or when somebody's getting surgery on their arm, like Tommy John surgery or whatever, do they take out the entire bone? The entire bone, everything, and replace it? No. They just surgically repair it. They don't take anything out. And if they have to add anything, they add it inside. I'll give you a great example. One of my personal favorite wrestlers growing up, Lex Luger. He was in an automobile accident or some sort. And basically, he had to have a titanium plate placed in his elbow. Did that mean they took the entire elbow out? No. They just welded in the plate inside. They didn't take anything out. They put the titanium elbow plate inside to help him so he could continue his career at that point. That's what they did. Did they replace the entire arm? No. They just put a titanium plate inside. Again, the point is, folks, it is all speculation. It's all speculation and opinion, and it's basically getting you to talk about the comic and the story arc, just like it's getting me to do it at many times, which is the goal of any comic book out there. That is the goal of any comic book out there, to get you to talk about it. Does that mean in the end you'll be correct? No. Okay, I'll give you another example. It was very, very short. It was a very short thing that happened in Uncanny X-Men issue 382. Basically, you had these lost souls, I guess in some kind of virtual world or something like that. And one of these lost souls, called Desolation, basically is fighting Jean. And basically, Jean can't damage it or can't physically hurt it. And what Desolation does is she ends up covering Jean. I mean, she's basically like a amorphous blob or whatever. And she ends up covering Jean and absorbing her and becoming one with her. You know, now, if you're new to the comic, you think, oh, great. Jean and this whatever are now just one. Jean's never coming back. Speculation, because at the end of the comic, she was restored. It was just virtual reality. Same with the Phoenix Saga in the X-Men animated series. True, Jean sacrificed herself just like she did in the comic. True, she came back as Dark Phoenix and she was killed. But did she remain dead in the animated version? No, she came back. She was brought back to life. Yes, it was a Deus Ex Machina, but it was a kid's cartoon. But it still was speculation, making you wonder if she was going to if they were going to kill her off. That's the whole point of it. It's called speculation and opinion, and it gets you talking. So that is why I asked the question of how do you know? Because all you're doing right now is speculating. You're thinking that happened. You're giving your opinion that it happened, but you don't know if it did. I mean, take a look at what's going on. Believe it or not, I never thought I'd have to use this as an example. Take a look at what's going on in the MLP FIM comics by IDW. Basically, the most recent story arc going on has had Rarity of all the characters become the next Nightmare character. Now, pretty sure, even though I haven't seen it on DeviantArt, even though I don't go to any of the Brony forums or anything like that, thank God. You know, even though I don't go to any of those forums or places, no offense to those Brony fans, but, you know, no offense whatsoever. But not once has I heard anywhere throughout the internet